Hey, kid. Nice ride. Can you race it? We'll see about that.
Hello and welcome to Good Boys Gone Bland, Season 9, Episode 7, Speed Racer. I'm your co-host, Denali.
I'm your co-host, Ryan.
It's me, your co-host, Platypus Power from Individual Energy.
We're coming into a turn speed.
Beyblade spin.
Looks like Platypus Power is passing Ryan on the track.
My name's just Ryan. I don't have a cool nickname yet.
Ryan
boring.
from Ryan Corp.
Boring loser.
Folks, welcome to our show. If you heard a fourth laugh, that's because we have a passenger in our car today.
Gotta roll those windows down, man. It's getting
There's
tough
a lot
in
of parts in here already.
We have a guest here today, our dear friend Ian, and our second Alaskan that we've had on our show after Michael. Michael is a confirmed Alaskan. Ian, who we kind of grew up with. Welcome to the show, Ian. Introduce yourself. What's your name, dog?
Yeah, well, I'm Ian, like they say. And I go back with the boys here since...
Yeah.
Well, y'all were like 14. I was like 12 when I met y'all. Because
Ian
Denali
was
and I...
a genius. He was a young genius.
A young boy genius. Broke boy billionaire. Yeah, Denali and I did Scouts together, and then I met Jason Ryan in high school, I think.
Yeah.
And I was so mean to him
You were
freshman year that
such a
sophomore
piece of
year
shit.
I apologized to him the first time we had math class.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, wow, learning and growing. Is this what it means to be a person?
I've told my girlfriend that story. And we're pretty far removed from that.
Yeah, no, that was over 12 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts, so. We can swear, right? I'm good for that.
No, we fucking can't.
Dick and balls,
Yeah.
dick and balls, dick and balls, dick and balls.
Yeah, this is an explicit podcast, not for kids, all right? Unlike this movie, I guess.
Is that why we don't get views?
Dude, this movie was
We get
totally all over the place.
Yeah, it was. Well, Ian, welcome to the show. We've been meaning to have you on for a long time, but we are in the midst of our car season. I kind of talked to you off mic kind of about what we do here. I mean, you're familiar with the show, but we're in the midst of our car season. We've been marathoning car movies, movies with cars in them, movies about cars. Maybe there's a lot of driving. Yeah.
Important question. Have we hit Disney's cars yet? Are we going to?
We have not, and we might. I don't know.
I feel like everyone's seen it, though, is the thing, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's seen it.
We want things that people aren't interested in.
Okay.
We've been,
We don't
for
like
the
too
last
many
3
views.
seasons that
We're
I've
trying to
pitched,
subscribe to a very presumptuous niche here. We're trying to
There's
pander
a solid
little bit,
28
boys.
people that right up our alley.
Hey, but those 28 people, ride or die.
Yeah.
Ride or die, and we might do cars at some point. But so far, we've released a couple. We're gonna do Gone in 60 Seconds. We're gonna release Christine. We've hit a lot of iconic car movies. We've done Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Oh, classic.
Great movie. And we were wondering, kind of like, are you familiar with like car movies as a genre? Have you seen any car movies? Do you like them?
Have you seen any cars?
I've seen a couple. I've definitely seen Cars. I wouldn't step up to bat if I wasn't ready to swing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fast and Furious films, some of those. I know of Gone in 60 Seconds, and I want to see it because Nick Cage has just really been on the forefront of my mind lately.
That movie.
I watched Willy's Wonderland recently, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. It was like the first like campy film I've seen in a while that I was like, this is great.
Oh my god,
So,
I haven't seen that yet.
it's basically Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's going to be what the Five Nights at Freddy's movie probably turns into.
Okay, great. That's excellent, man.
He
Well,
doesn't say a word. It's awesome.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
No
he
lines?
literally has no lines. He shows up, he like cleans stuff, he pops like weird beer soda and plays pinball and then kills demon possessed animatronics in fucking whips.
Wait,
I didn't know this existed.
Yeah.
We
it's
gotta do
great, man.
this.
It's
All
on
right, Nick
Hulu.
Cage
Y'all
season.
can peep it on Hulu.
Nick Cage season. We're doing that movie
That
first.
sounds way better than our current season.
We're hitting the e-brake right now.
No, we're not. No, we gotta finish this. All right,
Sorry, guys.
we're halfway
Come
down
on,
the
boys.
track. Ian, do you know cars? Like, do you know about cars? Are you a car guy?
No, man. My car
Yeah.
exploded recently. My alternator gave out. I had to like
Cool.
get a GoFundMe popping and everything.
Oh
It was
my
a
god, I
whole
remember that.
ordeal, yeah.
Is the GoFundMe over? We can plug that on the podcast right now.
No, it was like I was very thankful to have a community that just like got it done in like less than 3 days.
That's amazing.
It was
That's
very
amazing.
cash money.
All right, no more money for Ian. All right,
no.
everybody stop.
It's
In recent news,
Broke Boy Christmas coming up. Don't worry.
in recent news, the Good Boys Gone Bland mobile has also blown a gasket.
It's
So
exploded.
everybody check out our GoFundMe.
Buy us a new truck. And so, Ian, since we're all from Alaska, a lot of us were kind of gearheads. Like, not us, but us as in, like, a people are gearheads. I think the three of us are not. I mean, Ian, I don't really remember, like, you weren't really, like, an auto guy, right?
No, the closest I got to any kind of, like, shop work was talking to Mr. Lord and that other guy, like, because they would just, like, stand out in the middle of the hall during passing period and just kind of leer at everybody.
I remember Mr. Lord because I had, like, my study hall period with him.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember it was so off the wall because they were just, like, welding shit in the background. Wrenches were flying everywhere. Yeah. And I remember one time I was doing my math homework and a fucking snowball hit me in the face. And when you're in the middle of the school, like, it's like the last thing you're
like, this is the safest place I could be from a snowball assault.
I know. And then I was like, Mr. Lord was like, ha, you fucking nerd.
Mr. Lord was like my favorite teacher in high school because like day one of shop class, I was like, hey, you know my dad. He's like, oh, okay, cool, you get an A. It was the most like clicky class.
Yeah.
It was so good.
That dude was mad funny because like I think it was junior year we had all of our lockers over by there, and it was just we would all stand in a circle and he would just like yell at us now and again.
I think we had such a strange high school experience because I was talking with Amber who went to high school in LA, and just like the movies, their lockers are outside. Like, there's no hallways in their high school. They have an open campus, and they go from building to building, and they're always outside. And, like, I think one of the things she asked me, like, really early on in our relationship was, did you guys have hallways like the movies in high school? And I was like, yeah. Like,
what do you mean?
Like,
what do you mean?
What did bullies push kids up against in LA? Just, like, nothing?
Where am I supposed to get sack tapped after third period? Like, what's going on here, fellas? Fuck.
It made me think, because, like, we kind of went to high school on a compound. Like, we never left that fucking building.
It's a prison, dude.
For, like, 12 hours a day.
I remember kids would sneak out for lunch sometimes. They'd, like, go out through the shop.
Yeah.
And, like, his Lord was just chill like that. And he would just, like, let you, like, sneak out to your car and go grab lunch somewhere.
Mr. Lord, if this gets you fired, I don't know if you're still employed by the Matsu School.
He's long gone.
He's
There's
tenured.
no way.
It's been a long time.
He's fine.
You're lucky you got tenured last year, man, because a whole bunch of shit just came to light.
He threw a snowball at a kid. I don't think it was him. I don't think it was him.
He's like, man, my career's only got 5 years left. My students are old enough to have podcasts now.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous hours.
Well, Ian, we're so glad to have you. Not only to reminisce, but also because you're kind of like you're kind of an expert, you know, of the internet, right? Like you have this other presence, like right? Like I mean, do you want to explain yourself?
Yeah,
drop the knowledge on them.
It was kind of a weird thing after high school because I was like, oh, I want to like go do acting or I want to go do this. Yeah. And then a friend got me really into Super Smash Brothers Melee. And I have been working in that scene as a player, competitor, commentator, and tournament organizer for like the past decade, just in my spare time. And
that's so sick.
Yeah, I've cultivated enough of like not a following anymore because I'm like mostly not on social media as much, but enough to where I can like work the gigs. I know the people. I'm reliable enough. I show up and do the thing. I'm in a spot where I'm really happy where I can just like show up, do the work, and leave. And it's not about like who I am or what I do. It's just like I get to be a part of the experience. I get paid a little bit, and then I get to ball out with my friends. So it's a good time.
Who do you play?
I used to be a Luigi player. Now I'm a Captain Falcon player.
Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi for like 5 years. Because like for the first like 3-ish years, it was like. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like Sheik, Fox, whoever, and then I was like, I always liked playing Luigi as a kid, so I did that for 5, and then I switched to Falcon in 2020 when I was like, oh, a pandemic, what a great time to be bad at something for a little bit. No one will have to see it.
You're probably the best Smash player we've encountered, right? Just probably on average, are you like pretty good at Smash?
Yeah, I think I got ranked 4th in DFW, so to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
That's pretty high.
I'll probably be top 50 for Project Plus, which is like a brawl mod. So that's top 50 world, but we'll see.
The fact that I don't know what you're saying tells me you are extremely good.
You could be talking
Be
about
bullshit. You could be talking about cars right now.
You could be.
So when the gear shaft connects to the ancillary axle, that's when everything comes together, boys.
Yeah, that's so awesome, Ian, and I was super like glad to see you kind of involved in that too, because I think that's such a good use of your talents too. Because I remember, I mean, again in high school, like you were involved in the theater scene. We watched you. We mentioned in our Dracula episode, I think, about watching you perform as Dracula and how fucking awesome that was.
Dude, that production was crazy too. So the girl who played Mina Harker, and sorry, Becca, this is leaks, I guess. We ended up dating, right?
Yeah.
But there's a point where like she's supposed to like lick the blood off of like Dracula's chest to like fully become a
I remember
part
this.
of the vampire.
I remember this.
And bro, she just went in for it every time.
Wow.
Every
fucking
time.
Professional.
We weren't even dating at that point. The commitment to the bit was crazy.
Wow. That
was before my first kiss, bro. That was crazy.
Listen,
awesome.
it's not
Hats
me
off to
licking you.
Becca.
It's the character. Okay.
It's the character.
It's the
dude.
character,
It's fucking
yeah.
character.
It's
work.
what she
And
would do.
As an actor in major films, I can relate to commitment. All right? I've been in a few things.
Yeah.
Emphasis on few.
Check the IMDb page, boys.
We got to keep his ego in check, or it's just gonna be he's just gonna read his own resume.
I've seen Michelle Yeoh in person.
I've seen fucking Nathan
Fillion.
Fillion. I bumped into him with a backpack. Okay. Well, Ian, we're happy to have you. Like I said, that's so tight. You're like you're kind of like one of those underground prize fight guys, where people just like you show up in a basement and people just fight each other, and you kind of announce and
He's
people
our
kind of toss
Mr.
money.
Fucktastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr.
I'm Mr. Fucktastic.
from Bulletproof Monk. Yeah, we're not just.
That's a sick refi.
Yeah,
Jace. Only about 6 people would understand that.
You ever seen Bulletproof Monk, Ian?
No. I just loved the turn of phrase, Mr. Fucktastic.
Maybe see it. I don't know.
I'll give it a look.
But folks, we watched the movie Speed Racer. Okay, not to spoil things. I mean, the episode's called Speed Racer, so you're gonna see that. All right, the 2008 movie. As with movies in the 2000s, this thing may have popped up on the 2018 Choice Awards.
Oh,
And
2018?
today it's 2000. It's 2008.
Drop a 10.
Teen Choice Awards, and I wanted to test your guys' memory because we were around back then. Okay.
Bro, I was
got a
barely
little.
cognizant. Let's be honest.
he was like 4.
Ian was a fetus at this point, but I wanted to see. I prepared a quiz for you guys,
Oh shit.
and I'm going to see how much you guys remember here. So, Ian, I don't know how many of the quizzes you've witnessed us do here, but we have a rule set. So I have multiple choice here.
Okay.
And if I say the question, you can hit a buzzer and be like, okay.
Did you get the buzzer in the mail?
Yeah. Do you have the buzzer, Ian?
Yeah, I've installed it in my throat. It's kind of
Okay, great.
Nice.
Yes. So you can buzz to answer first, but you can also buzz before I say any of the answers. And if
Ooh,
you
okay.
buzz before I say any of the answers, you get double points.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
You get double points, but then you don't get to like guess again. You just be very careful about this stuff. All right. I'm gonna get to it. Question 1. I'm gonna get to this because we're on a time crunch here. All right. We're already deep into this episode. Choice action movie. Okay. Choice action movie 2008. Does anyone want to buzz just to get this one? 2008.
Oh, hell no, man. I don't remember shit about that year.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say it if you guys don't do it. All right.
Yeah. Give us
A.
some context.
The Forbidden Kingdom. B. The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. C. Speed Racer. D. Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Or E. Iron Man. Huge fucking
Buzz.
movies. All right, Ryan.
All right.
Can I have Iron Man,
All right, Iron Man.
please? I guess that's not a first come first serve situation, so I didn't need to buzz in, did I?
Yeah, you can buzz, and you guys can guess Iron Man too. It's okay.
I was gonna say probably Iron Man, honestly.
All right, Ian, Iron Man.
I think that I don't know if it was this Narnia movie or the one before it, but for some reason, some of our schools did field trips to that small Matsu movie theater.
Yep.
And I went to see a Chronicles of Narnia movie there with the field trip,
I was with you, Jace.
and then I went again with my parents, and I fell asleep in the theater the second time. Was that 2008, Denali?
It was 200006 when we did that.
Oh, thank
Ooh.
goodness.
So that was probably Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna
It's
go
hella Christian
with.
movie.
I'll go with Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. Well, you're all fucking wrong. It was
Oh,
Chronicles
shit.
of Narnia. Prince Caspian.
Ah.
Voice action movie. Ben Barnes, baby. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. We got more questions here. You guys are all tied at 0.
And this is
Perfect,
Teen Choice
perfect.
Award?
Teen Choice Awards.
Yeah,
all
what
right? These are not
Not
Kids'
kids.
Choice Awards. These are teens.
How do
all
they
right?
validate
Cool
the
kids.
age of the voters? I think I've
All
asked
right,
that
this
before.
shit again, Jace. Okay, we can't fucking do this every time. All right, question 2. Choice movie male breakout star. A. Jim Sturgis from 21 and Across the Universe. They're listing like the
Oh.
movies that
Oh
he's in,
shit!
Okay.
Yeah.
for this
I like
year.
Jim
Huge
Sturgis.
movies.
Yeah.
Great. B. Drake Bell, superhero movie. C.
We don't even. You shouldn't mention his
I'm
name
not-
here.
Ben Barnes, Prince Caspian. Or
Uh-huh.
D. Michael Cera, Superbad and Juno. Fucking huge.
Ooh.
I'm gonna buzz in and I'm gonna say it's D. It's Michael Cera. Superbad was so instrumental to just like
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
teenage
That's
boy of that
pretty-
era.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna follow logic and take Prince Caspian guy. I don't know who it is.
Ben Barnes. Great actor.
Okay.
I wanna.
Very handsome.
I'm gonna go with Drake Bell, just because I feel like we're coming off of iCarly,
Yep.
or a lot of Nickelodeon might be hot in TV, and got a
Are you thinking
funny
of Drake
movie.
and Josh.
Drake and Josh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Drake and Josh. Okay, Jace, you're picking
Before the
Drake
f-
Bell
before the
from
fall.
superhero movie
Yeah.
as breakout male star against Michael Cera, Jim Sturgis, and Ben Barnes. Well, you are correct because it was Drake Bell
What? No!
for superhero movie, the smash hit.
Listen,
For the parody
sometime-
film superhero movie
Next season.
where he has dragonfly powers.
You remember it.
See, look at that. You remember.
You remember it.
Oh my god.
Okay, Jace, 1 point. In the lead as expected. Question 3, choice TV show, action. These are action TV shows. 2008, does anyone want to take a crack at this? Huge
Buzz?
for prestige. Okay, Ryan?
Heroes?
Oh
Okay,
God,
Heroes
damn.
was like early thousands.
I feel like
didn't
I
watch
feel
it.
like look how excited Denali is right now.
I didn't watch it.
He fucking loves Heroes. And
I love Heroes.
I'm gonna buzz and I'm gonna go Lost.
Okay, Lost. Good guess,
2008
too.
Writer's Strike. I'm gonna wait for the multiple choice. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
fuck,
conservative
we give him a-
Smart.
for once
Smart
in my life.
Ian. All right. A, Heroes. B, Lost. C, Prison Break. Or D, Smallville.
Fuck, I'm gonna say
Ian, what do you
Smallville.
think?
I'll just
Smallville?
go with Smallville.
Well, the correct answer is Heroes. Ryan gets double points.
Holy crap!
Dude, it's been so long.
It came full
been so
circle.
fun.
We've been
Full
listening to
circle.
Denali mention the main
Full
character's name
circle.
without
You
knowing.
have-
Milo Ventimiglia, dude.
And well, also the only reason I know about Heroes is because of Denali, and he somehow mentions the show Heroes in every single episode.
Great
and it
show.
gets cut.
Great show.
probably.
Bring it back again. Bring it back. Smallville. I still got to get into that. I think all the pieces are there. CW, Superman.
I've only seen like 2 episodes,
Any
and they're
good?
so wild.
Right.
It gets weird, man.
Question 4. Okay, Ryan 2, Jace 1, Ian 0.
Can
I'd
I
like
buzz
to
in
see you
now
get
for
some points on-
quadruple
I'm
points?
trying to get on the board here, boys.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan. Yes, you can. You did this last time. Okay.
Can I buzz in now for quadruple points?
Yes, you can.
Oh my god.
You can. You got so close last time.
And wait, remind me, does he get to re-answer or no?
No.
I was gonna say this is all he has.
No, he can't re-answer. You can't re-answer if he does this.
You,
Okay,
you
but
can't
Ryan,
see it, but his hands are in his like on his temples, like trying to
Yeah.
mind meld here.
Ryan, if you get this, is eight times modifier. Okay.
Jonah Hill and Emma Stone.
Okay, Jonah Hill and Emma Stone.
For best kiss.
Okay. Do you guys want to hear the question?
Let's hear the question.
Because I think it's gonna pivot to music.
Okay.
And you went,
Choice summer movie comedy.
Damn.
damn.
Man, dude. So Ian, last week,
Yeah,
or last
yeah.
episode, I did the same thing, and I guessed Halo 2, and it was like 2004 video game ended up being the
Yeah, Halo 2
category.
was
That's
like one of
nuts. That's actually
I
nuts.
was like, "Wah!" going bananas.
Oh my god.
But it was wrong.
That was really great. Okay. Choice summer movie comedy. A. You don't mess with the Zohan.
Oh.
B. Wally. C. Kung Fu Panda. D. Get Smart.
It's a Kung Fu Panda angle for me. Were you there the summer that Kung Fu Panda 1 and Kung Fu Panda 2 were playing on loop in Keanu's room at camp? Where it was either those 2 movies or Aaron playing Rogue Legacy That was all that was on that television the whole summer.
Play the stupidest shit. Okay. Are you buzzing for Get
I'm
Smart?
I'm buzzing for Kung Fu Panda.
Not Kung Fu. Why did I say Get Smart? Why did I get? Okay. Kung Fu Panda.
Get smart,
Yeah.
Buzz.
Get smart.
Smart
Freudian
idiot.
slip.
Get wrecked.
Get right. Okay. Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I'm Kung Fu Panda lock.
Kung Fu Panda. Jace, are you doing Get Smart?
Yeah.
All right. It is Get Smart.
I'm throwing myself off a bridge, fellas. Texas is so flat. I've got to work to find one, but I'll get back to you.
I'm the worst host. Okay. Jace and Ryan are tied. Ian, I'm gonna help you out a little here.
Okay.
I'm gonna make some of these weighted a little harder.
Some
all right?
adjustments. Okay.
I do this in other quizzes. All right. So don't worry.
Denali's got it.
It's
After
not my
rant-
abject lack of talent here. That's
No.
I
Absolutely not.
rant. I rant so hard when like he doesn't give me a way to come back and win.
Okay,
Our
all
point
right.
totals are logarithmic.
All right,
and then
all right.
Yeah,
also
it's
unfair.
logarithmic. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This next question.
Oh,
is
it was
worth
Mr.
100
Bowker,
points.
by the way, the math teacher.
Mr. Bowker. Thank
That's,
you, Mr. Bowker.
This is
Yeah.
from our talk earlier.
Yeah, Mr. Bowker, math teacher. Great math teacher. All right. This next one's worth 100 points. Choice rock group.
I'm not buzzing in for this, man.
You guys don't want to fucking buzz for this?
No, man.
200 points. That's a lot.
It's too late for the Naked Brothers band, man. That's all I know.
I'm gonna buzz.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a correct. Hot Shelly Ray.
What the fuck are you saying?
What are you?
You know,
Red Hot Chili Peppers?
the song Tonight by that Bionicle song that was really popular, I think, in 2008.
Wait, wasn't that the fucking that was
that-
Move
Move
Along
Along?
by All
Move
American Rejects, bro?
I'm gonna save you, Jace. I'm gonna save you because that's not a real answer. All right. I'm gonna say the bands. All right.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying.
Sweet
oh,
Baby
wait, I'm
Ray's?
thinking. Yeah, wait. Sorry.
Having a
Swinging
stroke.
big. We're swinging big tonight.
I'm gonna make up a band.
I listed a real band
Okay.
that formed in 2005.
The
But
Bionicle song.
I was thinking of the one. Yeah. No, the. We've talked about the Bionicle song too.
Choice rock group, the Bionicles.
That's why I'm like,
Okay. A. Fallout Boy. B. Boys Like Girls. C. Linkin Park. Or D. Paramore. Huge fucking bands.
It's got to be a Paramore angle. Oh, it's got to be, dude.
Sorry, Ian, I didn't hear a buzz, Paramore. So I don't.
Paramore.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah,
can I have Fallout Boy, please?
I didn't hear a fucking buzz.
Sir, Buzz,
Yes,
can I have Fallout Boy, please?
you may. Jace, what's your guess?
I buzzed. I don't get the answer. But
what-
Paramore's so hot right now.
Yeah, you letting him answer?
Misery
No,
Business
you
just
can
came
answer.
out.
I saved you, Jace. It's okay. You made up a
Yeah.
band. It's all right.
What
You
was
can
that?
guess.
What was the
You can
second
guess.
one that I don't think I've ever heard of?
Boys Like Girls.
Boys Like Girls.
Boys Like Girls.
What'd you guess, Jace?
That one.
He didn't. He
He's
guessed
going
the
on.
Bionicle
Okay,
song.
Sorry. Okay, all right. It's Linkin Park. It's Linkin Park, you fucking
Damn.
idiots. All right, it's Linkin
Damn.
Park. All right.
Tragedy strikes yet again.
6.
100
wait, what are we
points.
at? Who got?
Who
No one
gives a
got it.
fuck?
No one fucking
Yeah,
got
I think
it.
it's still 2-1-0.
All right. That's
right?
great. That's great. Okay. This next one is gonna
Oh,
be
there's
200.
another question.
Yeah, there's another one. Okay, because there's a tie. There's a tie going on here. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
200 points.
Fair
all right.
enough.
You guys are
Hey,
slowing me down.
Fair enough.
Choice hookup song. All right. 2008.
They asked
None
that
of
the
us were
kids?
doing this.
None of us were hooking up in 2008.
Does anyone want to guess?
Choice. No.
Okay.
Airplanes, the night sky.
A. Shoddy Get Loose by Lil Mama. If any of us were hooking up in 2000. Okay. B. No Air, Jordan Sparks and Chris Brown. C. 4 Minutes, Madonna. That's all you.
Only 30
D?
seconds of it.
All right. D. Low, Flow Rida.
Oh.
I'm Buzz.
Yeah.
The second. Yeah, Jordan Sparks or whatever.
Oh,
Four-
can I buzz on Flow
No
Rider?
air. No
Okay.
air. No air.
No Air, Flow
I
Rida.
will also buzz on Flow Rida, if that is permitted.
Yeah.
Yes, you may. And the
Okay.
correct answer is No Air.
Suck.
Jordan Sparks. Jace,
Jace
you got
Sweet.
200. 201.
Whoa, hey, good
Listen,
job,
we weren't
Jace.
getting it, but hands were touching wieners back then. Okay.
All right. Okay.
OTPHJ.
It was somewhere in the world.
Look
All
at
right, I'm gonna do-
hot shit Jace back in the day. Wowzers.
I prepared 7 questions. I'm gonna just do the last one. This one's gonna be 100 million points.
Oh, good,
right.
good. This
Okay,
is how the
you
comeback
can still,
starts.
Yeah, you can still win by a healthy margin, Ian.
Can I quadruple buzz in?
Yeah, you can. You can. Right.
Fully coolly.
Hannah Montana.
All right. You guys want to hear the question?
That's a good question.
Choice male hottie.
Oh.
Fucking idiot. Just buzz before you hear the question. Choice male hottie. Anyone want to guess? 2008.
No, I got nothing. Oh,
Ooh.
2008. Wait.
We got a real rogues gallery of hotties in 2008.
I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit, and I'm gonna hit a
Okay.
buzz.
Yeah,
Robert Pattinson.
that's a good guess.
Ooh.
Good
Yeah.
guess.
I'm gonna.
Was the first Twilight? I think that's about.
Might be Goblet of Fire territory.
I don't even remember.
That's not important. Let's just have Jace buzz in.
Yeah. You know what? Buzz. Justin
Yeah.
Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake. Okay. Both of you guys are wrong. That's not even on the list. So I'm gonna list them. I'm just gonna list them.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. The 3 of you guys can guess on this. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Poppy.
A. Taylor Kitsch.
Who the fuck?
Friday Night Lights.
Oh.
Okay. B. Okay, fuckers.
We need to play football.
It's a great show.
Let me
all
pass
right?
the pigskin.
He's a great actor. All right. B. Zac Efron.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know that guy. You guys
That
know
makes
guy.
more
Okay,
sense.
Yeah. All right. You guys know that guy. C. Chase Crawford. Gossip Girl. You fucking kidding me? All right.
Look, man.
Just-
All I know
all
is
right.
Go Piss Girl. That's all I have.
Go Piss Girl.
That's all I've got.
Jonas Brothers. The 3 of them.
Just
Whoa.
the collective
Kevin?
hottiness.
3 of even Kevin. All right.
Probably Zach.
Fuck yeah. Buzzing in for Zac Efron, I guess.
Buzz for Zach.
Yeah.
Ryan, did you buzz for Zach?
yeah.
I'm gonna
I didn't hear
go.
Buzz.
I'm gonna go.
Buzz for fucking Zach then.
All right.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
go the Jonas Brothers.
The collective.
Yeah, the collective. That seems like
The hive mind.
something
You're gonna-
teens would vote for.
You're gonna buzz for 3 guys.
That's an easy way to trick teenagers into voting for a group of 3 people.
Well, Jace, your instincts were correct.
Oh my
The Jonas
God,
Brothers.
The 100
With-
million points.
I think there are 2 other contestants down on the bottom of this mountain that I'm on.
You know, percentage-wise, Ian and Ryan basically tied.
Yeah, we're basically a limit function at this point.
And you guys all made the podium. All right, you got 2 silver medalists, 1 gold medal.
The
I
points
gotta
aren't
fucking give-
cumulative.
All right,
Right.
It's got to be like 110 million,
I think
202.
Jace won a 1 quadrillion point lead in one of our quizzes. I think he's still in the lead overall. So, Jace, congratulations, another blowout. Ian, you were at a disadvantage. You know, you were a child. It's okay.
It's
it was
true,
wrong for me to do an age-based.
My frontal
thing.
lobe was less
I'm sorry.
developed. I was still thinking about childish things. I hadn't begun to deadlift yet.
Yeah, but you were a child genius, so I thought maybe you would do it. But should we get into the movie, guys?
Let's
We've been-
run it.
We've been fucking around. All right, this is
We have
a
been.
professional podcast. This week we watched Speed Racer. Whose pick was it this week?
I have no clue.
Jace?
Yours?
It was
I thought
Ryan's
Ryan
pick.
said it was a Ryan
Ryan's
pick. Yeah,
Wait,
Ryan
the
said it was
Ryan
his pick earlier in the episode.
Ryan, you little rascal,
Right.
taking advantage of my goldfish memory.
Yeah, because we.
Wait,
what was the movie before this?
Me and Ryan watched Critters for a bonus episode.
there you go.
Herbie, we watched Herbie Fully Loaded.
And I picked Herbie
Yeah.
on
Oh,
the
that's
Wheel of
Fully Loaded.
Chaos.
Ryan,
so-
it's your turn for the
Ryan.
synopsis. You're delaying right
I tried
now.
to
You're
look
giving me more
at. I
shit
tried to look
edit
up
out.
the blurb on IMDb.
Jesus, Ryan.
But I
This is
just got
fucking minutes
I think
out of
I
my
typed
day
in
later.
Something wrong. It says Inter-American Development Bank.
Oh my god.
You don't.
This is hell. This
Listen,
is fucking
you've been
dead
doing
air.
this
Oh,
for
you
almost
did
100 episodes.
IABD.
I used their search function and they didn't have anything on Speed Racer.
Do you search everything through the little search bar on the bottom left of your computer?
He's just binging everywhere.
I gotta give them my data.
I heard Bing's better for porn. I've never used it though.
If you're,
Yeah,
if you're
definitely.
discerning between your browsers for pornography, there are worse issues at hand, I fear.
IMDb. I manage Doobie Brothers. It's
Oh. That's what it
Nice
stands
one. That's a
for.
good way to remember it. It's more catchy.
Yep.
All right.
Ryan, you have the
Everybody,
gumption
this-
to synopsize this movie without
Go ahead.
IMDb.
Talk over me. It's fine.
Yeah, you don't need to
Ryan.
read the blurb.
Ryan, just say what's this movie synopsis?
I was,
Ryan.
and he was talking
this
over
is
me.
fucking dead air. We're hard out,
I
man.
get-
We gotta fucking do
I
We've
get.
got ramen broth boiling right now.
this. Jesus,
Okay,
broth
for the
is
sake of the
ruined.
ramen broth.
Okay.
This week we watched 2008's Speed Racer.
Yes.
Rated PG?
Yeah.
That's like the third thing up at the top of my screen. That's a surprise. It's about a young driver whose name on his birth certificate is Speed Racer, played by Emil Hirsch. He also was in like other movies like Into the Wild.
He's a great actor.
This is mine. And his family owns a car racing team. Much like Herbie Fully Loaded. It's basically the plot of Herbie Fully Loaded.
No, it's not.
Really?
If this is his.
The rest of it is
Okay,
going to
all
be
right, all right.
wants to be a racing champion, so has
Okay,
to
you
jump
got
into
one.
the professional racing leagues and win the biggest race of the year.
There we go.
Was I talking about Herbie Fully Loaded or Speed Racer?
I think
Is
that's
this car alive and has feelings?
Yeah.
the Mach 5 is just talking with its little eye holes.
So, so Speed Racer's car is the Mach 5. It's a sleek, futuristic car, and it can drive upside down and stuff, and so can everybody else. And this movie also stars Matthew Fox as Racer X, Christina Ricci as Trixie, and some other dudes doing stuff, like Susan Sarandon, and John Goodman. He was great.
John Goodman was actually so good in this movie.
Directed by the Wachowski sisters of the Matrix fame.
Wachowski Starship.
Hell yeah.
And that's pretty much it. You can figure out the plot. Futuristic driving movie with like sanctioned races and stuff. So this is not like a street racing movie. This is a kind of a Grand Prix was thrown around a lot. Based on a 1960s
On a true story.
cartoon. Based on,
Man, Speed Racer, Speed Racer, one of those animes where I didn't realize it was an anime until I was like way older.
Right. Have you guys any of us have seen Speed Racer?
Yeah.
The OG?
Yeah.
no, just the clip that you sent us. And
I heard it's
then
fucked up.
I've
OG
seen,
Speed Racer is crazy.
I've seen the meme that's on Instagram every now and then. That's like when Speed Racer's like, "Stop crying, it won't do you any good." And by the way, you have a lot of work to do, starting right now. And it's always like when I tell my boomer boss I need a day off for mental health.
yeah.
Yeah, I grew up watching Speed Racer, and I remember my dad telling me, he was like, yeah, back in the day, the narrator guy, he would just make shit up, like, off the cuff, because it was just like, they didn't translate it. They'd be like,
Yeah, no,
"Ah,
they were like, this is what's
speed
going
is-
on.
He's getting a steak, I don't know. Which I think is amazing and really fits this. This movie was a box office flop, all right? That actually was kind of surprising. I remember it had such a big portion of my memory growing up because I never seen it, but I remember it being everywhere. Budget 120 mil, pretty big release. Box office $93 million. Fucking flopperoonie.
I mean, that's not
I mean,
the worst you could do,
yeah.
I guess. You know,
It was a disaster. All
I mean,
right.
that's a punt. You know, you get it down the field, but you're not making it back. You know?
Maybe.
The
this
900
movie-
CGI artists that produced this movie
Yeah.
weren't gonna be paid anything anyway, you know? So
They weren't.
They did all
that's
the
true.
work. Oh my god.
This movie debuted number 3 in the box office. All right. We're gonna do the box office.
no, just tell us. We just spent 20 minutes
Can
on
we
the
do
quiz.
that? We just do the 2 rounds.
2008.
We've got a hard out now.
I'll just do one. I'll just do one.
All right,
I'll do
all
one.
right.
Okay.
I'll do
okay.
one. All right. Can you guess number 1 this fucking weekend? All right. We went through a bunch of movies, so we
What
can just
weekend?
do one. May 9th, 2008. Entering summer, 2008. All right.
So it wasn't entering summer.
Was it Prince Caspian?
It wasn't Prince
Was
Caspian.
it Prince Caspian?
Right. But this, I will say, this is part of a pretty big franchise.
It feels like Iron Man.
It is Iron
summer,
Man.
yeah,
Okay.
summer movie.
Jay
was
stings
thinking,
it.
yeah.
All right. Okay. 1 million points. Congratulations, Jace. You win the box office game. All right. This movie was in production hell forever. Did you guys read kind of who was in the runnings to be Speed Racer and Racer?
I
X?
have not read a single piece of trivia. It took every fiber of my being to get through this movie.
This movie was like almost 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
But
It was
time
like,
dilation.
It's like a 2 hour 15 runtime is insane for this
A huge
movie.
ask
Yeah.
for audiences. Because this one you would think you see Speed Racer, tight 90, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's literally called Speed Racer. It goes fast.
but like 90 minutes in, I was checking my watch and I was like, there's no fucking way this movie has more movies. And they're like, all right, we're done with this huge race. And now for the next one. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Right?
The
Uh,
my big secret
Okay.
is that I put this on last night and I fell asleep.
Oh.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah.
Dang, that's
So
damning.
that's a first in the series. This is a
Okay.
first out of
Okay.
I don't know 90 something movies we've watched. First
Yeah.
one I fell asleep during.
Wow. Amazing.
I thought I was being a delinquent, cramming it in the last like 4 hours leading up to this podcast.
I finished
but-
it this morning. Yeah.
You guys
Me
all
too,
same
baby.
dayed this. I cannot believe you guys. But this movie originally being started in 1992 for production. Johnny Depp and Henry Rollins were slated as Speed and Racer X, which I think would have been fucking incredible.
That would have been insane.
Vince Vaughn was also supposed to be Racer X at one point. Literally every director was handed off on this thing. And I think, what's his name? Emil Hirsch, he beat out Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Shia LaBeouf, and Zac Efron for Speed.
God.
It was a hot ticket. Keanu Reeves was supposed to be Racer X as the last casting choice.
That would have been dope.
Wachowski sisters approached Keanu Reeves, but he was like, "No thanks," and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Would have been fucking tight.
What a
but
weird
this was-
cast, too.
It would have been
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the cast is kind of weirdly stacked as it is
Yeah.
though. You have multiple Oscar nominees in this cast. You have Emil Hirsch post Into the Wild, who's kind of on this trajectory of being like the biggest A-list leading dude in the 2000s, but then kind of after this movie it kind of blew up. First watches for everybody?
Yeah, first
so
watch.
no, because one time I tried to watch this at Matt apartment and fell asleep.
It's a trend. It's a trend at this
Yeah.
point. More than
And-
once.
Is there
Yeah.
something about this
And
that
Julie didn't
lulls
even
you to-
remember that we had started it because she fell asleep even sooner than I did the first time.
Ryan, do you have a carbon monoxide detector installed in your house?
Two different buildings, so
I've got all of these post-it notes around my house, and I don't know who's leaving them there.
Pick up banana.
Well, that's also
Okay.
true.
Yeah, what was your guys' kind of first impression turning? Because this movie is a very specific style. Did you guys kind of have a reaction to the style of the movie?
My first reaction was this shit looks like Hoodwinked.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Uh,
I liked the vision, but 2008 CGI and like it's just so limiting. Like it immediately dates the movie way far back. Like everything is CGI too. There's like
Yeah.
no practical effects whatsoever outside of a few of like the close-up sets. So like they pan out to the city and they're like, look at how glorious and futuristic it is. And they're like zooming around on the carts and there's like a bunch of motherfuckers with segways
Yeah.
and all of it's CGI.
Peak
And I'm just
segue.
like, how much of
segue.
this movie was on just a soundstage, just like a huge green screen soundstage, where
Yeah,
it's
they
just
said
like,
they
all right, we're
shot-
sitting here, and that's
yeah.
it.
They said they shot everything in 60 days on a soundstage,
Holy,
which shows.
yeah,
For me, I actually really liked the aesthetic of this movie, like the oversaturated, in-your-face shit, and also I think the CG was so, kind of bad and cartoony that it was kind of just, my brain was like, this is an animated movie
yeah,
with humans like interpolated into it, and I think I was able to roll with that.
yeah. I
I
like
had
the
to-
first part of what you said, like the color theory is like so beautiful, like
Nuts.
all of the like choices on like set design and like the
Yeah.
way things look and like the like anachronistic like kind of like weird 1950s vibe but also like 2030s vibe that it
Yeah.
had going on was like super cool. It just looks like crap.
It was definitely a choice, and I can understand the criticisms at the time because we're coming off of gritty reboots in 2008. Like everything's grounded, realistic, and I even remember at the time where I was like, "Oh, I can't wait for Speed Racer to be like super realistic and dark, and everyone's fucking cool." And then like seeing the commercial, I was like, "What the fuck?" And I think everyone had the same reaction.
You could convince me that this was either Shark Boy and Lava Girl
Yeah, right.
or like Spy Kids 2
That's in my notes. That's in my
Kind
notes,
of
dude.
like sequel. You're like, oh, same universe. Okay,
Yeah.
because everything in the background looks like that.
Yeah.
Spy Kids level CGI and lighting TBH. It's
Yeah.
like that's
Right.
the 26th line of this bullet point. Like,
I totally fucking see that. Everything's super saturated too. The other thing that stood out was I forgot the guy's name is Speed. Literally, Speed Racer is the main character's name. That's gonna weigh heavily into my car meter, I think. That's even more car than Denny Swift from The Art of Racing in the Rain.
Or like even like Ricky Bobby, you're kind of like,
Yeah,
okay, this
all
guy's gonna
right.
turn out to be something involving gears.
Yeah. It's like this guy's name's Race Car Driver. Like you can't get any more than this dude. And straight away, you're getting a kid, like in this scene, kind of like Scott Pilgrim style, like fantasizing about racing. And they're talking about cars. They're waxing poetic about racing.
that
The
scene
first-
was really good.
First
Yeah, Jace?
15 minutes, stop steering, start driving. Have we ever had a more car quote
Hell
in a
fucking
movie?
yeah, dude.
Holy cannoli speed.
Also, the racetracks in this movie. I think I wasn't expecting, like, I was expecting a racetrack. You go left turns the whole way. I wasn't expecting, like, fucking loop-de-loops into a volcano, like,
Yeah, like
robot saw
death-defying.
blades. Like, and I was like, you know what? I fucking love this. This is great. This is excellent. I
could
wish
you-
races were like this.
So beginning in the movie, we have this flashback really to like his childhood when he's in elementary school. He's obsessed with cars. His older brother is a race car driver for his family, the Racer family, and his older brother's name is Rex Racer, and that becomes kind of Speed Racer's origin story, right? And they end up telling the majority of that in Speed Racer's like first big race, right? And could you guys follow the plot at that point?
Yeah.
Or
So
were you also confused by the flashbacks within flashbacks within flashbacks that were constantly happening?
it was weird. So the big thing I noticed about this, because there was like a little like X-ray blurb on the Amazon thing. It was like, this was the first film the Wachowskis ever shot on HD.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's why they're just abusing foreground so much in this movie.
Right.
There's so many sequences where you'll just have like a person standing in front of whatever's going on, and they'll walk in front of the rest of the camera, and it'll wipe the
Yeah.
scene behind them into a different scene, and then you have
Yeah.
a whole
Yes.
new scene.
Which
And
is-
that
which-
is just like,
Which is kind of fine if you're kind of moving forward in time.
But you're just flipping constantly.
Randomly, it would go backwards. And then it would go. It was just difficult for me. I didn't know which of them. Sometimes when he was driving the car, I didn't know who was driving it. Because sometimes they
Yeah,
flash
the-
back and Rex would be driving it.
the transitions were weird in this movie.
Yeah. I like the overall design of like I like the idea, but for the first 20-ish minutes, it's just that race, and I was completely lost plot wise. So I'm asking the Speed Racer fan, do we know what Speed Racer's career was like before this?
I don't think it's mentioned at all.
Yeah, like it's basically just like he's an up and coming racer. And I think that's just kind of his character, is that he's just like this hot, exciting racer. But like, I mean, to get to your question too, because like I already knew the Racer X Rex kind of thing beforehand. So for me, it was just kind of like, oh, cool, this is how they're catching us up into the thing. So I think as someone who already knew the information, I thought it was cool. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I like how they're intercutting. And maybe it's like they're kind of hoping that you already maybe know that his brother is dead, and
Okay.
like he's reliving it, and it's like, we're not gonna do the Uncle Ben scene. We're just gonna intercut it with him doing this race.
Okay. Yeah, so
for me,
spoilers.
that was It's he explodes.
Yeah, so Rex dies in some ice cave.
With a skull
Pretty
face.
cool way to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a skull cave.
Not
It's
bad.
got a skull cave. I thought the two like there's like three crazy things in this prelude section where they're like doing the back and forth that stand out.
Yeah.
Number one is that like some dude just gave Speed, like when he's like 8 years old,
Yeah.
a box with a bomb in it. Like
Yeah.
he was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I will kill this man by giving his baby brother a bomb. And they just kind of gloss over that, other than like Rex leaving. Part the second is baby Christina Ricci's character. Like this is how she establishes like meeting Speed. there's just this uppity like little child just like calling Speed literal slurs.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I was like,
This,
like it's during the
uh,
slow-mo section, but she just hits like the R slur on him. And
yeah.
super good praxis. She just punches her in the face. And that's
That is
how she
we
meets
engage.
Speed.
Yeah.
And then
Trixie's cool.
Trixie's cool. Trixie's chill, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
what was it? The third one. Just like part where it finishes the race and he like willingly takes his foot off the pedal so his brother's record still stands.
I like that, man.
I feel like
fucking
that
love
would be an emotional beat at the end of the movie, like in
Oh,
any
yeah.
other movie about like racing. That would be like an end of the movie, like, nah, I don't want to erase his legacy, man. But it's just like
Yeah.
they just slide that in there, and it's really actually well done.
I think it like highlights his trauma, where he's like, you see the tears going down his face, and he's like, the last second he doesn't do it, but then just gets right up to it, and everyone's still
Yeah.
psyched. I was like, I fucking love this.
Yeah.
What happened in the middle of this movie?
The middle.
You were taught about capitalism.
Yeah.
Elon Musk's
Oh.
older brother who got rich off of car part mines,
Yeah.
and
That's right.
ninjas.
Ninjas.
Because
There's ninjas.
that's where
Ninjas.
the energy levels started going down past critical, is when we started getting this kind of like business drama, sort of like Wall Street aspect to the plot, and it seemed like we were 100%. This is gonna get 10 out of 10 on the car scale, and then they start just talking about like stocks for a while. And did you guys follow exactly what was going on?
Yeah, so
Or
like
can you maybe break it down a little bit for someone who was in
Ryan
and out
didn't
of
watch the movie.
consciousness?
He didn't go back. He was like,
sleeping the whole time.
he like woke up, his eyes creaked open a little bit. He's like, huh.
capitalism.
I mean, you basically the big rich man's trying to sign Speed, right? And he
Yeah,
kind of
Royalton.
reveals,
His name's Royalton.
yeah, Royalton in the most like Mr. Moneybags character. He was basically just like, oh, the races are rigged, and this race was rigged, and it helped this company, and it helped all the companies, and we're all rigging everything. Join our thing and help us rig shit, or we'll ruin your fucking life. And basically, that was the whole montage. And I don't know, obviously I dug the anti-capitalist shit.
Yeah.
I feel like this was kind of the Wachowskis talking through the camera, because literally at one point they're like, racing is like art, you're like an artist, and all these people are pressuring you as the artist to do all this fucking shit, and you're in it for like the love of the game, and you're doing this for different reasons besides money, and how do you like not let that change you? And I feel like that's kind of the whole theme
Holy
of the movie.
shit!
right?
Yeah,
Like,
there's so many like layers to it too.
That's pretty good.
Also, the opening line is great off of that because like he has his like whole like, oh, I'm a beneficial sweetheart capitalist and I just want to scoop you up and take you to the big league, son. And then Speed is like, nah, that's my dad says that corporations are the devil.
yeah,
And
he's
the first line out of this guy's mouth is just like, you poor naive chump. It's just so petulant. And like during that whole spiel about like all the stocks, there's like cut-ins with Speed's little brother, who's just this weird comedic relief character, and he has
Yeah,
he has
with the
Jim Jim
monkey.
with him. He has the monkey. And so there's just like these interludes with a candy heist. There's a janitor that looks like Waluigi, and then there's also them like driving a cart and like feasibly killing all of these people on segways while the Freebird solo plays.
Yes!
And the Wilhelm scream happens.
I remember I came back.
Like what goes?
I
Why is
popped-
Spindle there?
I popped back into our world, and the Freebird solo was going, and this guy was ripping down the hallways, and I'm like, yes, I'm back on this movie. This is what I do in my own car.
It's moments like that I realized that like the Wachowskis kind of sat there and they were like, okay, we cannot ground this movie, so we're gonna completely unground it, make it completely fucking absurd and like a sugar rush. Like this movie's
Yeah.
a fever dream. There's shit in here. If you watched them like just by like without watching the movie, you're watching them on YouTube and you're like, what the fuck is this from? Like this is just absolutely nuts, tonally like insane. And I think for someone like with pretty crazy ADD, I think this movie was like stimulating me in a way that like I've never been stimulated before.
It's like almost like it's like early hyperpop is what it feels like.
kinda
Like that kind of
is.
aesthetic
Yeah.
where it's just like super saturated, like really just like dreamy aesthetics and like it's so weird how like there's all these like anachronisms and like tonally it's just jumping over from like comic relief to like super serious spy movie to like racing tension.
Yeah, it's almost too much, but it's part
Yeah.
of it. That's it's like almost grating. But I think it kind of adds to the aesthetic, kind of like you said, hyper pop. We get into Racer X at some point in this movie with Matthew
Right.
Fox.
In the start, in the
So-
middle, and the end.
Yeah, I guess yeah, kind of.
Right.
Somewhere.
So,
Yeah.
so what? So the timeline of events is there's this first race that Speed Racer wins,
Yeah.
and then he gets all these sponsorship deals, and including Mr. Monopoly Man.
Money bags.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Peanut.
Speed Racer turns them all down eventually. It takes like fucking half an hour, but he turns them all down, and then there's another race.
Yeah, the
And
Fiji race.
It's revealed that all these races are rigged. If you're not on one of the big teams, then you're not even gonna finish the race. And there's essentially a bounty on Speed Racer's head.
Yeah.
And so he goes to unconcluded whether it's Fuji or Fiji.
They say
Um,
Fuji like
I
so
thought it
because
was Fuji.
times,
Yeah.
but it's
I
gotta
know,
be
but-
Fiji because it's an island.
So there's another race, and in that race, he's on his own team again. He didn't
Yeah,
join
he's
one
with
of the
his
major
dad.
teams. He's with
Yeah.
Racer Racing,
Go off.
and
kid.
he don't do so good.
Yeah, this is also like intercut in that same section of like the
Right.
post-capitalist rant. Like
Right.
the chronology of this movie like relies on they'll be telling you what's going to happen. Like Royalton
Yeah.
is like, yeah, you're not even gonna like make it in the race, and then I'm gonna like your dad's gonna get mysteriously sued for IP infringement, and
then
like
it's
I'm gonna fuck your
yeah.
life up, kid. I'm gonna ruin
It's not
your
a
shit.
flashback,
And it's like-
it's kind of a flash forward.
Yeah, it's like a flash forward, and then there's no like, oh, it's happening now. It's just like, oh, we're done with that part. That happened already, but you were just saying that it was going to happen. But
Yeah.
now we're just there. So it was kind of weird.
It was disorienting for sure. And Emil Hirsch is playing this role, I think, so interestingly too, because it's super understated. Where he's like, "Oh, hey, Mister, I don't know if I could do this. Oh, are you sure, Trixie? Okay." Like he's not. There's
Yeah.
no like, "Oh, I'm Speed Racer. Oh, I'm gonna fucking," like you would think he would play this thing. I think it adds something here, contrasted with all of the rest of the craziness around him. Like he is the one kind of grounded character. He's like the
Yeah.
linchpin.
I just
For
want to
everything.
drive.
I just want to drive, baby. Matthew Fox, I think, was serving some amazing shit as Racer X.
Oh my
I
god,
was
yeah.
eating.
Yeah.
I love this.
Dog.
It was giving. Is all I'm saying.
So
He was fucking shreddy too. Are you fucking kidding me,
Right.
dude? Like in that
Buddy
ninja
looked
scene,
great. Yeah.
He was like whooping
So-
ass. Yeah.
okay, so let's get to the ninja scene
Okay.
in due time, because I've got some thoughts.
Yeah.
But I have a small anecdote about Matthew
Okay.
Fox.
Okay.
He's from, or at least he lives in Julie's hometown,
Oh.
Whoa.
and so every now and then you'll see him around town, and
What?
yeah, and he usually drives cool cars.
Hey,
So
still racing.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's pretty
Pretty
sweet.
funny. So Julie's whenever Matthew Fox comes up, which is like once
Yeah.
every about 4 years.
Lost is a great show.
she's
It's
like,
great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, remember Matthew Fox?
Oh my God. Has she seen Matthew Fox?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
there
cool.
you go.
Awesome. Great. But Racer X kind of like employs Speed Racer in this kind of like, I think like the racing commission wants them to
No,
kind of
they're
crack
like
open.
it's like the
right?
CIB or something. They're like the FBI, CIA
Inspector,
mix.
Detector.
Inspector,
Yeah.
detector.
I was
Yeah.
I got that confused because I thought that was a member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah. No, it's him. It's him.
I didn't know that.
But like Speed gets put into this like rally race, which I think I loved this scene. They're like 3,000-kilometer race spanning 3 continents, and they're giving him all these fucking weapons and shit,
Yeah.
saw blades, like shit coming out of the tires. I really
right.
like that scene. Yeah.
So
Snake oiler.
Yeah.
Snake oil.
Catapults snakes at people and also releases oil from the back of his car.
yeah.
He has the most
Super
one of the most
situational.
insane lines in the movie too, which is just let's pinch these turds off. Like,
What? I
Like,
wasn't even asleep.
yeah, so
No!
he's just like leading the pack, and he's like seeing that Speed Racer's catching up, and he's like, oh, let's pinch these turds off. Like,
No way.
Adding that one to my Rolodex immediately.
Okay, so what happens is after he breaks his car in the Fuji race, he teams up with Racer X, who's doing some sort of espionage investigation against the big racing team.
Yeah, because there's Tajeo.
Yeah, so him, Racer X, and a Japanese team all jump on the same. I guess they kind of form their own team. And they jump in this long rally race, which is kind of like an off-road sort of race. And it's wild AF. And they upgraded Racer's car. They've upgraded the Mach 5 or whatever. And it's got some cool new upgrades. And yeah, that's the context. We can go on to the next race.
No, I thought you were, No, it's cool. No,
I just kind of trailed off because that's all I know.
Yeah. I fell asleep,
Were you guys aware that the final race was going to have like multiple parts?
What do you mean?
It kind of just happened. Where they're racing, the final race. Yeah. We get a big idea. They're racing. Yeah. And they finish the race.
Oh yeah, there's like 2 legs to it.
They cross.
It's like the Tour de France.
Yeah, but that wasn't explained to me. So they cross the finish line. I'm like, oh man, Speed Racer lost.
Yeah.
And then he's like, we'll get him tomorrow. Let's all go to sleep. And they sleep in a hotel room, and then the ninjas show up.
Yeah.
Which
this
also
movie is like a Mad Lib.
It's never explained like who hires the ninjas. It's just like, oh, I guess these are just like guys that are trying to kill us.
They're affiliated with the bad guys because they're
and we get like, because most of this movie is like super heavily stylized to be like like kind of like a Westerner's interpretation of like anime sequences. Like there's like the little brother and the monkey like acting out anime sequences and stuff. And then the Racer X ninja fight is just like stone cold Wachowski choreo. Like it is just like insanely so sick, like fight. And then it flashes over to the other room. And then you get like comedy choreo. And it's just like you have John Goodman waking up and he's pissed. And he like picks this guy up and it zooms in on his hand to show the Greco-Roman championship ring on his hand. And he just beats the brakes off of this guy. It's so sick. It includes
amazing.
The line that stood out to me is like more like a nanja. Terrible what passes for a ninja these days.
That was excellent.
Such a line.
And I'm like, has he encountered these guys before? Like, has he multiple ninjas? Like, it wasn't like nobody was like, oh my god, ninjas are in here. They were like, all right, let's go time. It's fucking, I know what to do right now.
This is what we do. We fight the ninjas.
It does make me feel better that you guys are having the same reaction to not. I for a long while I thought I was in the dark. Long while meaning between now and the 12 hours ago that I watched the movie. But I thought I was just like, I can't keep up. I don't have the mental capability to follow the plot. But yeah, it just seemed like randomly I didn't know if they were like, we need a ninja scene. Or we film this ninja scene and we have no place to put it in the plot.
Right.
And like, oh, what if we turn that final race into like 2 races?
Yeah, this movie would be incredible off of like 3 Benadryl and a shot of NyQuil. Like, this would be. This is an ambient film.
It'd be VR.
Yeah.
This movie too was released 3D as well in theaters, and I regret not seeing that. It probably was sick, probably pretty sick. But basically after that rally race, right? Tejo backstabs him. And then I guess Speed's got to go to the Grand Prix. All right, there's shit that happens, but basically what it gets down to is Speed's got to win this last race. All right, they take all the illegal mods and they build this car across 32 hours, which in a cool build scene. And he also confronts Racer X, and he's like, Racer X, that sounds like Rex. Surely, is he my brother? And he's like, hey, are you my dead brother? Which I think is a wild question to ask somebody. And the guy was like. And instead of answering, like what a normal person would do to a traumatized guy asking you this crazy question, he slowly takes his mask off.
What?
He's like, I'm just a guy.
And then Speed Racer was like, oh, never mind. You're that guy from Lost.
Yeah, you look so different, actually.
Matthew
Also, we get a good line there. It's like you don't sit behind an IA-180 to be a driver. You do it because you're driven.
Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah.
There's so many like I have this shirt that says it's like a NASCAR like 2000s shirt, and it just says "Are you driven?" across it. That's all I could think of.
Hell yeah. That's tight.
All I could think of. I literally after that reveal, I was like, how do we get into the third act? Because like nothing makes sense. Like, what is this third act even going to look like? Because we've had like we've had our initial 45-minute recap of everything into
Yeah.
Weird Act 2, and then Haruko shows up and is like, "Yeah, just go to the Grand Prix, bro. You deserve it."
Yeah, dude, fucking do it.
Yeah.
And that last Grand Prix race, like I was totally glued. I was super in it.
It was so sick.
I like Racer X's line. He's like, "You can't change the race, but don't let the race change you." And I was like,
Damn.
"Oh baby,
This
I
is-
fucking love this, dude."
Did you guys were you constantly distracted by someone else in the room saying this is like Mario Kart every 15
Oh,
to 30
no.
seconds?
No,
Wait,
no, no.
Amber did say that though at one point.
I live alone in my room. Thankfully, my roommates are out of the house. No one could interrupt my time with 2008's seminal hit Speed Racer.
This is like Mario Kart. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I was watching on the
This
couch,
is like Mario Kart.
and Yuri was in the kitchen, and one of these lines I think that we probably just discussed popped off. She was like, "That shit sounds crazy."
Ninjas. I mean, they were using power-ups. Cars were spinning. You would expect one spin-out scene in a race, I think, not
Yeah.
hundreds of
No,
thousands.
that's a technique. The cars just go.
Yeah.
Spinning is like it's like a main thing. It's like a Beyblade kind of thing.
They're
going
fucking
on.
tops, dude. Yeah, like they
Oh.
spin around, and then
Jay's
there's
tying
certain,
it all together.
there's certain moves in here where I'm like, easy DQ.
Yeah.
Easy to, like, Speed
Taking
Racer
out
at
a
one
gun.
point.
That's why
Yeah,
I made my
take-
gun joke earlier. It's like, your race is going wrong, just pull out a Glock.
Which Snake Oiler does. Snake Oiler does pull out a gun.
And Speed's like, no, I'm above that. But then he, like, pump jacks his car and smashes these two cars into a bunch
Yeah.
of boulders, and they explode. And, like, they had ejection seats, okay?
Yeah, they had like the
ejection.
bubble system or whatever.
Yeah, but he doesn't know if that's going to function correctly.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah, get him, Speed. Fucking kill that guy.
There's also like the entire B plot where it's like the fixer or whatever, like the weird Russian guy with the piranhas.
Uh-huh.
That's
Oh
like
my
black-
God, yeah.
He's like blackmailing Taijo or whatever.
Right.
And like he's trying to kill Speed and all of them, and then like finds them in a mountain pass. There's this huge prolonged fight sequence that has like all the anime like swoosh lines going through
Yeah.
it, and it,
was
goes on
so
forever.
good.
It was
Like- I
insane,
love
and then they all end up with guns in their hands,
Yeah,
and they're
they're
threatening
like-
this guy, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, fuck yeah, we did it," and then the fight is over. So he won't
So
shoot
sick.
anybody, but he will threaten people with a gun.
Yeah. Speed will take lives.
So during
Yeah.
that fight, everything got really crazy. But one thing that stayed consistent is that his little brother, Spritle,
Spritle,
and
Spindle,
Chimp,
whatever the fuck.
they're chimpanzee
Chim Chim,
member of
Jesus.
Chim
Fine.
Chim.
member of the family.
God.
They were there,
Yeah,
right?
they're everywhere.
And they're fighting. Okay,
Yeah.
now I have a question. Would you rather fight a human man in the real world, or would you rather fight Spritle and Chim Chim in the Speed Racer world?
A human.
Human
in the real
man every
world.
day.
Chim Chim
Sprittle's got comedy
rip your
relief
arms off.
protection.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if you've seen the Wikipedia, but there was like an animal safety thing that happened with Chim Chim.
Oh,
Oh.
rough dog.
He actually did bite a child
Oh no.
in the filming. And then the animal trainer slapped Chim Chim.
Huh.
And that was like a big thing. Like, you know, you're not supposed to. One, slapping a monkey is a terrible fucking idea. And he said he kind of did it as a reflex. But yeah, you don't want
I'm
to
so used to slapping monkeys.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Animal cruelty incident. Yeah, no.
Yeah, there was actually a couple for that one. They said also piranhas. Multiple piranhas died filming this movie, and I thought they
Those
were
were all
CG.
Those were all fake.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
They
Huh.
deleted 5 CG files.
What is this,
of the-
Milo and Otis?
Yeah. So, but I mean, Ryan. Yeah, like we've seen like what monkeys can do to like.
Well, I was
people,
thinking
like,
because like in the world they didn't really do anything. Like they were just annoying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had this big like anime like wah thing, and they were just like they jumped onto the guy's legs.
That monkey wrenched a guy, dude. That actor.
I was gonna say
And then
they
he
like
brought out the
saved the
monkey
day
wrench.
'cause they slingshot and threw actual shit at the guy. Right?
Yeah. So
Chim Chim
Ryan's
cookie.
a menace. Yeah.
I thought it was like kind of like an interesting question because like I don't know, it depends on the day. For me, depends on the day.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling real spunky.
I also like how they were in the trunk of the car during that insane rally race the whole time.
Where he's like
'Cause,
falling
like-
off of a mountain.
Yeah, like he's doing flips, and like there was a time where Speed ejected out of his car while it exploded into the side of like a racetrack. And I'm thinking of Spritle and like the Chim Chim. Right after that, they're like, "I'm gonna stow away in the trunk here." But yeah, I mean, the end race happens. It was cool. It was dramatic, and then they rebuild. They make a Mach 6. and then they kind of just win, right? Like they go through, and then how did they? What did they do again? Like didn't they expose? The spear.
They
Yeah.
expose the bad
claw.
guy cheating.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
they have
Fine.
like the undercarriage lock.
Choose your Deus
basically.
Ex Machina of choice.
Well,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have done anything. They like exposed that he was cheating, and the commentator was like, "Oh, maybe he won't get in the Hall of Fame," and the race just continues, and he's sitting there.
There's no disqualification.
yeah, and then Tage, I think that's what it was. Like Tejo sees Speed win, and they see like shit's going downhill, and he testifies. And
Yeah.
he's like, "Yo, this dude's corrupt." Gets put away. And apparently there was supposed to be a sequel.
Really?
Like they were, because I think the actor who played Tejo, he was asking why Tejo was so excited that Speed won, aside from being swept up in the moment. And they were going to kind of explore that a little bit, like explore his kind of backstory a little more in Speed Racer 2. But obviously, like the studios were so fucking upset at like how much money this lost. Apparently, they just scrapped everything. But there is a full finished script done somewhere out there.
The Speed
gotta find
Racer expanded
Yeah.
cinematic universe.
We can do it.
I'll watch it.
AI can do it. Those backgrounds
Yeah.
were all CGI generated anyway.
God damn it!
Yeah. Get
Supporter actor strike.
get me with a couple caffeine pills and blender, and I'll get there. You know?
I'll fucking do the whole thing, dude. Do we want to get into our meters? I think we're at that point, folks.
I'm down
Ian-
to meet. Yeah.
Yeah, let's meet. At this point, this is where we go through. We do what we've been doing, our accelerometers, and that's kind of how Car was the movie. This is separate from how good the movie was. This has nothing to do with the movie meter. Movie meter comes after. But first, we're gonna explore how Car was it.
Yeah.
Was it a car movie? How?
Would your
Ryan, do you
car
wanna-
guy friends?
Yeah.
Would your car guy?
Yeah.
Would your car guy friends like it? If you were picking up your car from the shop and you'd be like, "Hey, you ever seen this movie?" Would they look at you like, "Fuck no," or would they be like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna give you a discount.
Fucking
You get a free tire."
get a free copy of Speed Racer.
Yeah,
Ryan.
like, you mean this?
Let's go, Ryan, me, Ian, and Jay. You'll just do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a difficult car meter, like Herbie Fully Loaded, which got a little heated when we did this discussion.
We did. Yeah.
I'm not sure how much this is a car movie because it doesn't appeal to the typical person I think of when I think of, yeah, this person likes car movies. And for that reason, like, it's so tonally and really subject matter different than the Fast and the Furious horsepower, baby, talk, that like it's almost not a car movie. It's a movie about someone's like personal journey and they're just in a car. So this is kind of a toss-up. I think it's fair to go either way. It's difficult because it's definitely a racing movie. It's definitely like a racing movie. It's great. Like there's
No one can deny that.
there's
yeah.
flips and there's people winning and there's lap times and stuff. But I don't think they said the word horsepower. I don't think there was NOS. There was a button that made the car go faster, and there was a
Amongst
final
other
race.
things.
So I've got those are my 2 points. But yeah, I'm not sure that this scores all that high on my car movie meter. Some car movie fans will probably love it, and some will probably hate it, and they'd say you're a baby for watching the Disney Channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 6 because my inclination is maybe in the 4 range, but there were some things that maybe some idiots might enjoy as well.
Okay.
Some of my fellow
You
idiots.
fucking idiots. Yeah. All right. A 4, right? A little lower than I was expecting.
No, I'm going with a 6.
Oh.
It gets a couple points
Oh,
on my
I thought you said 4. Okay.
freebie.
Okay, that's better. That's better. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in agreement because it's not your typical car movie, right? Like, this is not what you think about when gearheads are watching movies. And the car talk in here, we talk about car talk in movies, and they're always like, "Oh, did you fix the transponder? Fucking blah blah." The car talk was utter nonsense. They were just making words up. But granted, this is a world that exists outside of internal combustion engines. This is like some kind of future verse where they're drawing power from like a quantum realm or some shit. And there was legit car talk in here. You can tell whoever like crafted this world, they tried to have some kind of like specificity here. Also, like, there's no talk about a specific car. You have the Mach 5, but there was surprisingly no scenes where like they're kind of obsessing about the Mach 5. You have one scene though where Speed's sitting in the car and he's like, "What do you need, baby? What do you need?" And he's kind of like feeling the gear shift and stuff. I'm like, okay, that's a car movie trope. You got people waxing poetic about driving, about racing. You do have a regular driving scene outside of a race. That's also going to get a point. You also have multiple garage scenes. So I think this will get a little higher for me. I'm gonna put it at an 8. All right, it's more of a racing movie. It's not going to be quite a 10.
Right on. I'm gonna probably middle of the road this. So my big thing about it is like most of the like really big character moments do come behind the wheel of a car, right? So that's a big draw for me. But I also feel like just because it's so utterly fantastical and it's so kind of out of left field, one of my favorite lines is just like it's complete nonsense when they're installing like the new Mach 6 like driver or whatever it is because everything's been on transponders.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Is that like a gastronomic get him up?" And he's like, "Yeah, you want real kick? You go Bernoulli." And it's just like, what forces are they drawing on for this? Like, what are they pulling from the spin of this engine possibly? I just thought it was a really sumptuous film in a lot of ways, like visually speaking. Like, just you can look and just like see it's super dated, but like the thought and the care that went into like building backgrounds and like the cars and the tracks, all super cool. I'm gonna say like a 7 for me because it's not like a movie that's just like a car movie, like. But it's not Gran Torino where like you go into the movie like, oh, Gran Torino, and that's like that's a 1 on the car movie scale. That one's about racism.
Race-ism?
Oh.
It's got race.
Ah. But yeah, strong 7.
Okay, strong 7. Carthony fan Carno.
I think if there was any reason that I couldn't give this movie a 10 on the accelerometer, it's because maybe the cars go sideways and sometimes backwards and spin like tops.
They climb mountains.
We
too,
have
don't forget.
yeah, they do climb mountains, and everyone's thinks it's just as absurd as we do. To your point, there's romance in a car. How many of these movies we've watched 7 movies now, and not once up until now, besides Christine, I think at a Christine. Besides that movie, where they go to a drive-in movie theater. In that one, we have a little bit of a little bit of tension.
Yeah.
Here we have make-out point.
That's true.
You're gonna that's a point. Car movie. That's a point.
All right.
That's insane.
All right.
Good
job, Ryan.
We had just like 18. I think the cars were a little bit crazily designed, but Snake Oiler with the full snake leather custom-made vehicle, like you said, we went through a manufacturing tour.
That's true.
For a vehicle.
That part was nuts.
I don't have the same.
Don't forget the Y2K baddies. Also, the
yeah. I don't have the same. This belongs to the same point scale where it relates to like an actual car guy. So I totally get that. This feels like a Nickelodeon film, but beyond the brief foyer into capitalism, I think it's a 9. It's the rest of it's just pure car for me. There's a lot of really in-depth, surprising science talk in that final scene where they're like his car's dead and it shoots to, is his name Sparky?
Sparky, yeah.
Where he's talking about like dendritic growth in one of the components of the battery and or for the car, and that's something that happens in batteries. And there are a few other things I was like, oh, they used actual science words in there. Oh God. I was impressed.
Jace is right. I did it too low. All right, but I can't change it. Ryan, what'd you think about this movie? From
so
movie
my movie meter.
perspective,
So not on the car. This is gonna be my subjective/objective opinion on the movie. I think this is a tale of 2 movies. It's a tale of the first hour and 7 minutes or so, and it's a tale of the last. I fell asleep at the 50% mark, and the first part of the movie I thought was disjointed. I thought the pacing was terrible. I thought it wasn't interesting. I think and once again, I'm trying to separate like my things I don't like about it with like what they were going for. And it's hard to criticize this movie because there were so many choices made. Like everything was done on purpose. And it's hard to criticize that because it's not like they were done mistakenly. They didn't like, oh, accidentally made this shot look like this. Oh no, how do we fix it? No, like everything is like, every pixel is put there on purpose.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I think some of the problems with pacing and writing and overall like how they designed the initial race was absolutely not the way to go. So the first half of the movie is down on the 2 to 3 range of the movie scale. However, this morning I popped this shit on, and man, I was on board. And the second half of this movie is approaching like a 9. So I think I'm gonna end up giving this movie overall, I don't know, maybe a 7. Not that bad, because
Okay.
I think the first half of the movie, and especially during like the rally race and stuff, it was difficult for me to appreciate the stakes because the rules weren't clear. You know, suddenly, his car can jump. Okay, well, then next time he's in trouble, I'm not going to be suspense because his car jumps. Oh, now they have fighting spike machines that pop out of the cars and fight the other cars and stuff. And like, it's hard to know. It's hard to look at the screen and be like, okay, whoa, oh man, oh, is this going to happen? Oh wow, that didn't happen because there's no context for what's about to happen. Anything could happen. He might get abducted by aliens in the next scene. I have no clue. And that was really difficult. But by the end, I had learned enough about the rules where I could follow it. It's kind of like someone watching you play video games for the first time and they've never seen a TV before. They're not gonna have any context for what's about to happen or what you're doing. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. I think that's actually, in my opinion, being pretty generous. I think I was in a good mood this morning.
Shit, Ryan, that's higher than I thought you'd give it, dog. I'm glad you enjoyed the back half. Maybe non-sleepy Ryan should watch the first half too, dog. Maybe you want to bump that shit up. I mean, you guys probably kind of got it, like, as I've been talking about this, but I fucking love this movie, dude. Like, I was so on board from frame one. They have such a strength of vision. When they look at a movie, they're like, this is what the whole tone and the aesthetic's going to be, and they swing for the fucking fences. There is no, like, pitching down home plate shit here. Like, every single atom of this movie is crafted, and I think it's really, really original. Like, it's somehow pulling from like the wackiness of the source material, but they're kind of building on top of that mountain. I mean, the vision here is totally incredible. Like, even just the way the actors are talking. Like, you've got like this rogues gallery, not rogues, but like this group of like amazing actors in this movie, and they're acting in such a big, ridiculous way, but I think it totally fits the tone here. And I love like kind of I mentioned it earlier, the anti-capitalist speeches that they're making, even the moments between the family. Like Susan Sarandon, when she's talking to Speed about like art and about creators and about like making things outside of the realm of business, like I kind of felt that echo throughout the movie, and I think it's built around the DNA of this thing. And I think when you make, I mean, it's kind of a cheesy opinion, but like when you have a racing movie, I think it works best when the racing is like a metaphor for something else outside of it. I mean, we had Art of Racing the Rain try to do that, but I think this one really knocked it out of the park. 2 hour, 15-minute runtime. We talked about that shit. I didn't feel it, man. I was geared in. I was keyed in, baby. I could watch 4 hours of Speed racing on those crazy tracks, man. Yeah, this one, oh, God. I don't think it's perfect. I think it has some problems. But honestly, I think they did exactly what they set out to do. This is not a mass audience movie. And considering how well something like Barbie did, where it was avant-garde, super stylized, this could have done way better nowadays. I'm going to give it a 9, all right? I dug this shit. I think they knocked it out of the park.
Wow.
Rare Denali 9.
All right. I guess we'll do the clockwise thing again. So here's my kind of thoughts on the scale. I know. So like 1, terrible dog shit. 5, average, perfect middle of the road. Put it on for popcorn. 10, it has to be like a perfect film. Right?
Correct scale. Correct scale.
So I feel like this movie had like its share of problems, kind of like you said with like the time frame it was released in. We had like this really whack CGI sometimes. It kind of like dates itself almost immediately. I feel like some of the transitions were done kind of weird too, and like the action wasn't as legible as it could have been, which like the Wachowskis are normally like most of their action is like super legible, right? And this one, there were a lot of like really weird stylistic decisions with some of the wipes they did, and the ending. They had like the headlights or the taillights like kind of tracing lines. I felt like tonally the movie didn't really know what it wanted to be at all. Like it wanted to be like that 2008 gritty reboot where you've got like Racer X and like his dark backstory, and he's like tied up in this and that. But then you also have like these weird like little camp interludes with Sprindle and Chim Chim. Like even right at the end of the movie, where it's like you have this huge emotional peak, right? This like massive like, oh, Speed's won. We've got the cold milk. Sparky's drinking the cold milk, and we're getting like what the groundwork has been laid up to between Christina Ricci and Emil Hirsch, where it's like they're talking about on Makeout Point. We're gonna kiss in front of all those flash bulbs, and like this huge like thing for Trixie and Speed comes up, and you just get this weird little doctor interlude with Chim Chim and Sprindle, where it's like, for the uninoculated Cootie-averse, please look away. So it's like, is it a kids movie? Is it a spy thriller? Is it a racing movie? It felt like it really just kind of swam around in between all those three and didn't know what part of the Venn diagram it was on. Right at the end, Speed is literally like, get that weak shit off my track. He's just get that weak shit off my track, and it's so hard. It's so dope. But then the writing immediately, the next line is like, that hit was weak, and it's like, that just took away from it. So I think it had like its fair share of issues. It had beautiful vision. It had incredible scale. I'm hitting it with like a 6.5, like a 6 to 6.5. I think it's a respectable movie that overreached and kind of got hit for it.
All right, fair enough. Correct scale. Jace, what do you think about this?
This is tough. So this is an interesting tidbit. And I would say I more or less watched this movie in a vacuum because I've never seen the original. Well, I never read the original publication of Speed Racer. I didn't watch it in Japanese, and I didn't watch it in English ever. So I've seen memes like we've talked about, but hinted at, I was in Japan. I was in Kyoto, and the one of the universities in Kyoto put together the International Manga Museum, and I saw Maha Go Go Go, which I saw. They have a feature of this of what we know as Speed Racer there. So like that was cool. I was like, oh, but then I see this movie.
Text, bro. Yeah.
Then I come back. I kind of forget about that. The museum was a little mid overall, unfortunately.
Oh wow. Okay,
so I kind of scrubbed it from my mind.
You heard it here, folks. First, folks.
So what I guess the point that I'm trying to move here to is that until about halfway through this movie, when I decided to view this as kind of a shonen manga, and a shonen manga is typically targeted at like a 9 to 18-year-old boy, I was kind of not vibing with the movie. And then I made the connection that this came from a manga, became an animated Japanese show, and then was brought to the US. And a lot of the points you just made, Ian, I'm like thinking about, and I'm thinking about based off of a serialization of a manga where they can like do those things, where you can go from having like a really serious character to having a really fan service moment with a break of comedy to this kind of Nickelodeon-esque comedic break. And once I made that, and once I decided to let that sit with me throughout the movie, it became a lot more enjoyable. And to the point of having the comedic kung fu break with the kid and Chim Chim in the beginning, where they started acting out the TV show, to the cool assassin work, and then the car spinning like Beyblades. This is a weird movie for me to rate because I don't know if I would recommend it to people, but I want to give it a 10. Within the context of me viewing it kind of like a shonen manga, I'm gonna give this movie a 10.
Fuck
fine.
yes.
Kind of the Evangelion cop out that we had.
No.
There was a lot of Evangelion in Japan too, and it made me really uncomfortable.
We can't do it. Wow, I didn't expect you to rate it high. I didn't expect anyone to go higher than me.
Well,
I'm psyched.
Get
That's
wrecked.
great.
There you go.
Well, there you have it, folks. Speed Racer. I mean, I didn't mention this earlier, but like Rotten Tomatoes, 45%. Like,
yeah, the
people
Metascore is
fucking
37.
end this shit.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the first half is not. It's just not that great.
Watch it while awake, Brian. You just I'm sorry.
The Letterboxd tells a different story.
Really?
with
What'd they say?
15% of the ratings giving it a 5.
Yeah,
It's a-
that's that
it's-
weird Japanese.
It's a
okay,
3.3.
Don't give anything a 5.
That's those Jaces on that platform that
Yeah.
crank those Japanese movies up. Think about Evangelion, like 99% of it is 5.
Do you like Evangelion, Ian?
I do like Evangelion.
Oh god, we gotta get this guy off here.
We reviewed the final movie of the series
Oh.
without watching the
4.0.
We watched
Ooh.
End of Evangelion.
Oh, okay. I was because there's
A lot of
like
movies.
4 movies.
We received
yeah,
a lot
right,
of
right.
hate mail
Yeah, like people
for watching the end without watching any of the rest.
we were just
Because we were just like,
yeah.
what
Yeah.
happened?
A
No, you
lot of-
definitely need to
yeah.
watch like the first like 23 episodes, and then you can watch
Yeah.
it to Evangelion. You can watch the whole series and then watch it, but really only
Yeah.
23.
Great, man. Well, Ian, thank you so much for
Glad to be
reviewing
here,
and
boys.
watching Speed Racer with us. We're so happy to have you on. You're welcome back anytime, dog.
Yeah,
Come on in. We won't pay you. We don't
Don't have
we-
any
we-
money.
I've worked for
But
free
yeah,
so
no.
much anyway. It's fine.
We'll never pay. All right. But folks, let us know what you think about Speed Racer. Did you like this movie? Do you think it was an unsung movie for its time? You think it deserves a sequel? Because I fucking do. All right, get Emil Hirsch back in that fucking driver's seat. I'll watch that shit.
He's
but with
quite a
that-
lot older now. The
Well, he
parents
could-
need to
he
have
could be
another
an
baby.
older- he could be an older Speed. All right, 40-year-old Speed. But I think it's my pick for next week, for next week's movie. I'll make this quick. I already kind of told you guys that I might be pitching this. All right, I'm gonna do a movie that's like undeniably about cars. All right, this is gonna be Oscar nominee Ford versus Ferrari.
Mm.
All right.
Oh.
I
Okay,
think-
so
I
a
think
real
we're gonna-
movie.
A real movie, and this is gonna be a movie that I think is undeniably like good faith attempt at a good movie. All right, I don't know if it's gonna
Okay.
be good, but I'm not gonna send us.
I
in
mean,
the
we gotta
dumpster
have
like I've
one
done,
a season.
all right? One Oscar nominee, Ford versus Ferrari. Join us next week for that shit. I don't know. It's on Hulu. Maybe give it a watch and join us. But Ian, do you have anything you want to plug? You got the ear of our audience. Like, do you want to?
I
You
don't
don't have to
know.
plug- yeah.
If y'all didn't, you should go watch the Big House 11. It was a tournament that was running this weekend that a lot of my friends were involved in making happen. The VODs should be up on the Beyond the Summit YouTube channel. If not that, you can watch it on Twitch at twitch.tv/BTS Smash. Incredible losers run by one of the people I really respect most in the scene. I used to be that guy's video editor. No
shit.
spoilers as to what happens, but it is well worth the watch.
Hell yeah, Ian. You were a huge get for us. All right. Huge. It was hard to get you booked. All right. You kept turning me down, but we finally agreed on a number and get you on this podcast.
Finally got my appearance fee sorted.
I was like, but Ian, you're our friend.
I remember what happened all those years ago.
Listen.
I'll join if I get the sack tap right. And just...
I'm
I think I'd have
I'm not
to be on
answering
that.
my door for the next 3 days. So
Do we want to end this with a racing tip? A tip to be a good racer?
Yeah, stay
so-
driven, folks.
okay, well there you go.
Oh, that was
Whatever that
Or we
means.
could do it popcorn
We could
style.
just- okay.
He didn't explain it to him at all. So
I didn't do it. But Ian gave us such a good one. We'll do a pop. We'll do stay driven, and let's do one together, Ian. What we've been doing is we've been doing popcorn style, adding a word. It's kind of like the improv.
Okay,
game.
okay.
We say one word at a time, and try to synthesize using our four brains. And if it doesn't work out, let's go with your stay driven. And with our it's rare we have four brains on this podcast. Let's try to create some good racing tips. Ryan, this was your movie. Let's start us off.
Stay.
Inside.
call.
What'd you say?
What?
Call.
Stay
Like-
inside. Okay.
Call like CALL.
Yeah.
Stay
You have to
inside,
imagine
call
punctuation.
your-
Yeah.
Cereal. I gave you 2 ways to go on that.
I know. I'm thinking. Grandma.
Pump.
Action.
Advisor.
When.
Breaking.
The
You
Hard.
fuckers. Steaming.
Steaming.
Yeah.
Barrier.
Okay.
That works. No, that's
That
good.
works.
That's a good piece of advice. We got it, folks. We got it.
stay in call when breaking cereal, steaming pump action advisor, barrier, whatever. Good job, guys.
Stay driven.
Stay driven.
Stay driven, baby.